And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FPL Frontline in the Trenches Frontline Prediction League. It is Frontline League here on Twitter, here on YouTube as well. This is the actual channel, Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League over on Twitter, though. And, I'm your co-host, Scott. Joining me, as always, when we do it, is BeerMe. BeerMe, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's hot as hell out, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I do have a fan running. It's a very small fan just off camera here, so if there's a noise, that's that. So at least it'll be the whole time. It'll be consistent. All is good. We've had a busy run of things. We've got 5 weeks till the next show, unless NXT. We're aware that might be in August. But right now we've got 5 weeks out because SummerSlam just happened this past weekend, and we are going to cover that. And that's about it. We're going to talk about a little bit about a couple matches. BeerMe's got some coming up for Clash at the Castle. And then I've got some news on something that debuted at SummerSlam. So, BeerMe, how about we dive into this right away? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. The world title. The main event. We'll talk about what happened afterwards. But the world title had CJ Hawk defeat Bastion to retain the FPL World Championship. 43-42. 1 point. And I know from talking afterwards, Bastion was going to change a pick, but it was too late. He was going to modify something. He would have won if he had, but deadline happened. Them's the breaks. And CJ Hawk retains over the man he cashed in on. So Bastion got cashed in on. He won the contendership, won the match for winning the world title, won a contendership to go after it again, and then lost by a point to the guy who took it from him in the first place. Sounds rather familiar to myself and Red with you guys. We'll get there in a second. But Bastion did not get all the gold for FBU. BeerMe. It's a bummer, isn't it? For you, anyway.
Came up a little short. It would have been a perfect night. But you know, those are the breaks, and we got to plan. Well, we're thinking about plan B's.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that when we get to that. I don't want to.
It was 1 point.
But
it was 1 point. But like I said, he lost to the champ, who took the title, and then lost in his attempt to claim it back. It's going to be a long line to get back in there. If anyone can do it, it's him. Let's be honest. He did it already to get back there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. We'll talk more about what happened afterwards because this next match talks about it. We'll get your opinions on things afterwards, BeerMe, as we go through kind of the rundown of the actual write-up. But the must-see good guys, BeerMe Jesus, that's you, and the GMSG, my friend and yours, defeated me, Scott, and, I'm noticing the write-up, and Red, match of the night. It says on here, the must-see good guys defeated match of the night, BeerMe Jesus and the GMSG. So that's got to get fixed. Oops, that's funny. But yeah, 86-83. I will forever regret putting 1 point on Miz. Mad Elite Titan and I, the only ones to pick Miz. My rationale was he signed a contract. He's not just a celebrity. He can lose and maybe win a rematch at Extreme Rules. That was my thought. It's going to be different than all the others. They're going to no. Instead, he had a freaking great match and won.
yeah.
And I talked myself out of Bailey. That's 2 points. We didn't split Jay and Jimmy. We would have had 2 points, so we would have tied. We could have won. But that's the story of my life with GMSG. It's always if I did this or that, but it's never quite been that close when it really mattered like that, and it hurt. It hurt BeerMe.
When we seen that you put Miz on one or Miz for one, we were praying because we top locked Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So we were like, he better not lose here.
Yep. Because if you lost all those points and I snuck in with one, yeah, that's the danger. That's Red and I. We do strategy a bit where we kind of split some points here and there. Or we move our points. So instead of being like, you put 7 on Logan, I'll put 2. Like we'll divvy that up because we've dealt enough with different teams. We see sometimes the team puts identical. We'll both get it wrong. If one of us gets it right, the other gets it wrong. We still get points net gain. We've ended up times like I think it was the Hell in a Cell where we actually wanted the match result to go against us because they'd lose even more and we'd come out a little bit. Like there's little things like that we've strategized a bit, and it won us the tag titles, but it didn't win them back. and it lost us the tag titles because you guys
we kind of knew.
You know that you know how we operate, but also we know how you operate. So we knew that you knew that we knew, and so we went back and forth so much. So we did less of that. I'm not saying it cost us, but that was kind of my thought, and Red was thinking it too. We're like, we're going to kind of go a little uniform, but the points will be all over the place. We did divvy those up because you guys usually go the same on that.
Yeah.
And again, I mentioned 3 easy ways. Like I actively talked this out of Bailey appearing because I was convinced it wasn't going to happen after so many times because it was too perfect. I'm like, nah, it's not happening. Well,
somebody usually puts that. Will they show up? Like 9 out of 10 times, I'm just going to put it. Like it's just that. What are the odds that they actually show up?
Yep. And then what happened was awesome.
But we knew that. Yeah. But we knew that you guys would probably maybe split a pick or something like that. I was hoping it wasn't Judgment Day and Mysterios because I was like, bottom of where I was like, ooh. And I was like, maybe they'll put one on Ronda or something.
Yeah, well, we were both convinced. Like we're convinced Liv's retaining, but is she winning? And that's the discussion that comes in too, right? So it's like, well, I'm going to put this much on it, move it around. I think we had 5. We actually had more on Miz. Then we knocked it down. It was a thing. But you guys retained. Congratulations.
Yeah, we got a defense in. Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we lost to you guys right away. Same exact situation with Bastion. We lost to the team, earned our way back, lost that attempt. They bring it back. That's going to be a long road to get back there because it's a 2-0 situation. Or for me with GMSG, I think I actively counted it. I think it's up to that's the 16th match, including 2 Survivor Series is on the same side. If you take it's 14, so I'm 13-1, or it's 14-1 with 1 win in all that.
That is just wild.
It's like 16-1 if you count the Survivor Series, and then 5 Battle Royals on top of that. I think 2 Rumbles, 3 Rumbles maybe, 2 Battle Royals. It's statistically speaking, this shouldn't be possible without doing it on purpose, right?
Right. And it's kind of crazy because as the tag champ, I think I know what's next, but I don't because we kind of just put the whole division on notice. We'll beat the crap out of you, or we'll beat you in the ring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're just out there,
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that toward the end there, BeerMe. You guys did a thing. You did a thing. We've got the FPL North American Clash Finals. It's Tino time. It's not Rumble season. He won a tournament in August. It's July technically. Tino defeated Detrick Cyrus 44-40. Very close. I know we're kind of heartbroken by the La Familia run that we wanted, right? It didn't happen. To be fair, match order, this happened last, and it kind of faltered earlier on, but Tino won. Oh. Tino is now going to be able to pick if he wants to face the American champion or the Canadian champion.
Another thing about this match is I don't like to air out things, but I think he said it in a live event. He accidentally misclicked on something, and it was after the deadline that he noticed that he misclicked on something, and I think and that's what cost him his match. Because I think I remember him specifically saying in a live event that he's like, I didn't misclick on that, I would have won, which would have been wild because then. But we know what happens in the other match, so we know what he would have went for. But Now,
Now that said, we do look at stuff like that. And it's not like, oh, you get another shot, but I mean, it's still a 4-point loss. That's still good.
Yeah,
ran the tournament, is on a really good run.
Dude,
you know what? A contendership isn't that far off. That his road is not as long. Is the kind of way to look at it, right? That's
La Familia's pretty damn good.
Well, let's talk about
Detrick Cyrus just keeps going, dude.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, because La Familia, both on the same page here. Sebastian Escobar defeated Smooth Rock and JJ Rocky. In an elimination match, JJ went out first, so Escobar did defeat the champion to win the FPL Canadian title in a Watson Rules match. Sebastian Escobar. And how'd this go? He's the second person to dethrone someone for the number 2 title, because we kind of it's above the American in how we list it. It was in his second attempt at it. And the goddamn achievement, which was made in December before the Rumble thing even happened with the number 2 situation of being runner-up. It was named You're My Favorite Number 2 based on Roman Reigns' dialogue with Drew McIntyre for Survivor Series in November 2019. And we loved that line we thought that's a funny thing for an achievement name. And then all this happened, and here we are in August of 2022. Not 2020, I think it was 2020. I forget what it was. But you get my point. Over a year later, the joke just gets better. But he's champion. Sebastian Escobar is the Canadian champion. So I know you're happy with that, BeerMe. You're a big La Familia fan.
I am. I'm very happy for Sebastian Escobar, and it wasn't the great night for La Familia, but the king pulled through for his family.
Now let's scroll down a little bit. I'm not skipping the tag match, but I want to talk about, because we already mentioned it. But Alpha Dog and Broken Nerd did fall. I said elimination. That triple threat was Watson Rules. There was no elimination. I'm sorry. JJ Rocky was the one at the end. This one, though, was elimination. Josh Dionio defeated Broken Nerd and Alpha Dog. Alpha Dog was eliminated first, and it led to Josh Dionio defeating Nerd. Alpha Dog was actually winning earlier in the match, like the way it was running. It was 42-40 to 34. Elimination tables hardcore match. Josh Dionio, like we were, I don't want to say we were afraid of, but we kind of knew it's a matter of time before this guy gets gold again. He got it at the expense of Broken Nerd, they have history, and the Alpha Dog, who was so close. It was almost the La Familia epicness didn't quite happen, just like the FBU finale didn't happen the way you guys quite wanted it. It's still good. It frees up, whatever Tino decides to do. He might come after Escobar, but he also might go after JD. So you don't know what's going to happen with that. But JD won. Again, he was the last ultra-violent champion back in JRPL. Took that title for me in a boot camp match. What is a boot camp match? And then won this elimination tables hardcore match. So he kind of finally picked up where he left off over a year and a half, almost 2 years later.
He always wins those when nobody picks him. He really is. When he said that he was part of Team No Chance, like he lives it up to it. Because I wanted Alpha Dog because of the story, but I think you both knew that JD was going to be a tough out in this because he's always there and he's always good.
Yep.
He's crafty.
It was 2 points shy. If it was 2 points off, it would have been a draw and Nerd would have retained. It would have been a McKennedy special if there was one bonus different. If he got one bonus wrong, he would have had 40. Right? Think about that. So he got it, though. That's what it mattered. And that's why it's better for SummerSlam, where there's more matches than some of the smaller cards. So that worked out well. But let's scroll up. This was a wild one. Dakota Alfine, Ralentando, Kier 1, Payne, and Sheriff Dog defeated Annex Asylum, Hiroshi Moses, Captain Krillix Blackwell, Static, and Slick. It was 162 to 150. Now, when you consider that one person alone can have a score in the 40s, this was a 12-point match, and it was 4-on-4. That's how close that was. So
it was probably like a match or two, maybe. Like that was it.
Just that.
12 points. Yeah. Maybe.
It was like a quarter of one person's overall score was the difference between this, with 8 people involved. I know it seems like it's a 12-point gap, because if it was any other match, it would be big. But that's you got to keep that in mind. That's 8 people, 4-on-4, 162 to 150. That's crazy. Now, we can go into the story stuff on this one, BeerMe, because I feel this deserves to get this mentioned right now. But Dakota Alfine, stuff's happening. Like, you read through as well, right? Yeah, so, hey, remember when we won the contendership match? The triple threat that also had Dakota Alfine in it? Kier 1 and Payne? And then they were pulled for some reason. Yeah, about that. It was actually tweeted. Please go follow our Twitter, Frontline League. The storyline revealed that Kier 1 wasn't involved in that. And we've seen at this event that things went bad very, very quickly as a result. So this is not over. It's never going to be over. It's a mess. It's awesome. What's your thoughts on this, though? Because you've been following this one for a while as well, right?
Yeah, apparently Kier 1 is not friends with really anybody anymore. He's the guy that wanted to be friends with everybody, and now everybody turned on him. I feel bad for him. But,
I think these guys have made a massive mistake in that. Because
I think so too.
There's no reason to have done that to him, and eventually someone's going to push him too far, and I think that might have happened here with this. I think.
I think so too.
It's going to bite him in the ass. We'll see what happens, because, I mean, Kier 1... Forgive me, but didn't Kier 1 and Payne actually have a feud before? Like, way back when? Am I thinking Legend of New School and stuff like that? Like...
Maybe.
I'm looking Payne into that wrongly, I think. There was a lot going on with that. Forgive me, it was a big faction a long time ago. But the other crazy part of this, by the way, was Scherfdog was on that team.
Yeah, being the guy. Yeah.
That was the mystery partner, with Scherfdog, who nobody would have expected, given the history with some of these guys. That's nuts.
Yeah, it was a shock. It really was.
But, it's going to keep going. They're going to suffer from Kier 1, which sounds wild to think, right? Like, he brought a giraffe to the bachelor party match. And now this.
I don't think...
and now they've wronged him so wrong that he's going to make Rallentando, Payne, and Scherfdog quake. Or at least try. And I got faith in him. I like it. But again, those guys, Rallentando, like, not for nothing, dude's good. Dude's real good. Like, they got to keep that in mind. Not that the others aren't. No, I'm not saying that. But never discount him. Like, betting against him is rough.
I was rooting for Captain Kulix Blackwell and Hero and two new guys.
Yeah.
They said they're going to be back, though, or at least one of them.
Yeah, we weren't sure what that was going to be like. So this usually happens. There's question marks there. If they stick around after 3 to 5 shows, they'll get the profile situation per normal, get the pick in there, get the storyline stuff, and people are welcome. Come on in. This is awesome. We've won over a bunch of people like that, except for Too Rare. He didn't come back, and that's the one I want to get the loss avenged on. But I digress. Maybe I'll get my shot at next Forbidden Door. Who knows? We'll see. But let's move on from here, BeerMe. Let's go down to another feud that's a long time running. Rate Wrestle defeating RGX. This was 41-38. A little more definitive in that sort of thing. It is. I know heartbroken's almost the word for it. RGX can't catch a break, and it's
at all.
It's like it's a main show match, a high-profile match, a historic match, and they lost it. It's just I've been there, and it sucks. But some of that's good story stuff. Because when you turn that around, it's great.
If he's kind of right where you were at back in the day. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep,
all he needs to do is get one. If he gets one, like on a main, I think he'll be good. The ball will start rolling.
Yep.
I went on a losing streak back in the day of like 5, and I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? And then, went on to win the world title like later that year. So it's possible. Just got to get one.
We are going to the UK. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird matches, this is a weird one, and full disclosure, I had to like double check on things writing it because it's James Costner versus Dion Blade, the Antidote versus former Antidote member, and it's not really like big time animosity. It's a battle of respect, which you don't see often from that, which is why I loved it. Like, it wasn't like two heels out cheating each other. It wasn't that, but they still knew each other's tricks. So I had a lot of fun with that. But talking about wins, 41-37. It's 1 point off from what Rate Wrestle did. So Costner, huge win on a big show against a surging challenger. Like, Dion's been in those kind of areas there trying to break through, getting a shot here and there. And then Costner's over here, not quite eclipsing that, but still, he's above it. He's above it. Not to say that Blade can't get in there. I think we both thought Blade could win that, but we both were pretty confident on Costner on this one just based on the history and his position with Antidote. But I'm not overly surprised by this one, but this is not the end for Blade. Absolutely. He'll be back better than ever on that one. What do you think?
I think he will too. Yeah.
Where do you see Costner
I
going
think
from here?
I really don't know. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, he's got stuff going on with Luke, so who really knows where that's going to go?
That's true. That's true. The way things went too, like he was world champion, lost to Bastion, who got cashed in on, had the contendership, lost that, so that was like his road back kind of got detoured right out of the gate there. But he won this, and it's high profile, so it's like he's not far off from that, but it's gotten muddy ahead of him very quickly. So we'll see where that goes, where that lies, and the stuff with Luke. That's obviously going to be a whole new ball game there. We'll get to there when we get to Luke's match here. But were you going to say something else? So I think I interrupted you partway on that.
No, I'm not really for sure where Costner really goes, because he's obviously got things that in his mind that he's going to do, and I mean we'll see if it happens. As for Dion, again, he's just one of those guys. He was up high and then he dropped down, and you just gotta see that win. He's got to get that win, and
this could have been it. We'll see what happens from there, though, and whomever is next. Next up, though, is the Ultimate X match. Roman Pierce won that, and we were both kind of thinking maybe for him. At the same time, he was absolutely a bit of a dark horse, because we had the Arbiter, Modstep, CM Carlito, Mark Harper, who I believe was my pick, and J-Mac. And Roman
you had
Pierce.
Mark Harper, not Arbiter.
Yeah,
yep.
Roman Pierce. That's a big win. That's huge with all the competition there. That's a big match that means something on a stipulation type thing. That's, upward swing. Here we go. And he was just against Broken Nerd and didn't capture the American. So where's that go? Like his I keep saying it, but his road's a little shorter now. How short? I don't know. We'll find out pretty quick, I think. Because
he got 5 in that match, didn't he? And everybody else had 1.
Yeah, he captured.
I don't know. I think he got the Mysterio. I would have to guess that he got Mysterio's right.
Yeah, he captured it. He got 5 in a row. So done.
Yeah.
So others, and that's heartbreaking. We've seen that before, where others had more a higher score when you get down to it. But he captured it. Done. That's it. He won. He picked the order right. So that's what mattered. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Close match. A couple close matches actually. Jonathan C.T. Martin beat Chef Urban 41-38, and James Black defeated Ash 43-30. Now, Mr. Money in the Bank had the competition match, bit of a challenge, bit of animosity going with Urban. Urban was 4 points off of a win. It's kind of heartbreaking, because if you beat him, that's the world champ he just beat. He was upset early in the tournament. There's those roadblocks in the way on Urban, but he's close. He's still not far off. It feels like just that one win, like Blade you said, and that kind of thing. That's him for that. Black and Ash, though, that was supposed to be Ash getting revenge on the man who stabbed him, tried to end his career, and worse. And instead, Black capitalized on that wound. Maybe Ash wasn't really cleared because he'd been losing coming up to this, and beat him. And kind of humiliated him in the process, which, the good guy's supposed to win that. But I think we were both a little worried that Black would pull this off, right? We were both thinking that going in. So
yeah.
So what's your thoughts on these two, though? Any comments on that?
James Black's on a roll. He's won 3 in a row. He beat Hawk. He beat Nerd, and then he beat Ash. He's beaten 2 champs and a dude who was a former Royal Rumble winner, I think. Or did he win the Rumble, or did he win the touch? I don't remember. But I remember that they faced off. And he's won 3 in a row. He's got big things probably lined in his future. And
how about CT?
It sucks that Ash didn't get his revenge. CT. Oh shit.
Ash will get another. Both. But Ash will be back there.
Both.
He's got to recover. It looks like maybe he came back too soon. So we'll see where things go from there. But
hey, I had to give James Black a little love there. But it was CT and Urban. Urban's close. But like you said, he's his one promo before this is he's lost 4 main shows in a year, something like that, or 4 shows in a year, or something like that, which is kind of nuts. And it's pretty much just been in tournaments or something like that. So I think he's still right there. If I was on it, well, maybe give him if he's doing this well, give him another win or 2, and then boom, he's there.
And they're close too, like you said.
Yeah, and CT doesn't need to win anything. He's got money in the bank. He could lose the next 20 matches, it really wouldn't matter because he would, eventually he'll cash in, but he wasn't going to cash in this night because things happen.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. We'll get there.
Congratulations on CT's slide up and down later.
Come on now. But, we'll get All right. We got Bane the Bissa and Alexander McKennedy going to a no contest, a McKennedy special and a McKennedy match.
It's tragic.
Now it's 40-40. Great scores. Would have beaten a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Bane also got it. So What's a no contest? Which is kind of fun. Like that.
Kennedy hasn't had one of those in a while.
No, he
either.
hasn't. Since he lost it, I think he hasn't had one. Since he was American champion, he hasn't had one. Now this clearly means we can do this again, and I don't think people would complain about that. I don't want to not see that again. That sounds fun. That's a good one. It was cool. It was a fun match. So that's clearly got to happen again. We'll see where that happens. Lexi beat Gabby. Briggs defeated Gabby Hitchcock 43-39. We've said this. I've said this multiple times. I'm very happy to be able to say it kind of clearer now with this win. Lexi's been on these pinning champion situations on house shows, which are all our Impact and AEW and ROH things. They don't count as much for reasons that CT mentioned on the video, and I've said before. But storyline-wise, Lexi's pinned champions. Well, we got to do something with that. So we do have a high-profile match here on the main card. Lexi versus Gabby. Lexi wins. Okay. That's the road. That's the path. Here we are. We're setting that up. We're on our way. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes and who's next for Lexi. Absolutely. And it should be very interesting to see where that goes and what that leads to in regards to those matches. So we'll get more on that one maybe later. We'll see. What kind of stuff I'm talking about. We'll get there, but let's talk about the hardcore chairs match. Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel defeated Luke Gray 40-32. Hardcore does a bigger point spread usually when those come out. And Luke lost, and I'm sad because I wanted him to win that. I wanted him to win. Not for nothing with Geisel. That's the kind of win to kind of back on track. He was facing like Murderer's Row out of the gate, so it makes sense. Him and Tristan Bonham were. There's a fly buzzing around here. This is like old times, BeerMe. I got a fly flying around the screen.
Oh god.
But Geisel, like it's that kind of thing where he's got that win. That's one that matters. That's going to be good for him. It mattered for Luke too. Not for nothing. Like it's still like a good showing. It's out there, but didn't get that win, and it is heartbreaking. That one I will say is heartbreaking because it's like, oh man. And you mentioned Costner got involved with Luke. If you want to comment on that here.
Yeah, he said that he could help him out, and Luke just was like, no. So we'll see where that goes.
The Antidote offered its services, or at least Costner did. James Costner did. And he refused. So, I mean, that can't be everything, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe Luke looks to take them down, and that's his path on. But then, he wrecks them. Or Costner, who's very good, does what he does to Luke. We'll see what happens there. It's going to be very interesting, definitely. Next up, the Midnight Rider, who wasn't in this four-way, defeated BJH Bowman, Tristan Bonham, and X. This originally had another opponent, who I'm forgetting now, because I'm not on that screen anymore. But it might have been Chappers, I think it was maybe. But whomever it was, did not show. They weren't there.
It was Bowman, X,
Bonham.
Oh man, I'm
remember it.
blanking on it.
But it happens.
I think it was.
Picks weren't in, so kind of the fifth guy for the match, Lee, the Midnight Rider, did move in and won the whole damn thing. So there you go, 42-39, 33-27. So the Midnight Rider won that. That's a big win for that because he's been inconsistent even in just appearances, but coming in, Opportunity Knox got that win. Yeah, and not for nothing.
That's 2 in a row because he did really well at ROH. And
exactly.
Then he did really well here. So he's back. He might be back.
Yep. We'll see how that goes there. It is, like I said, it's opening the main card, or even like that was kickoff main event type stuff. So it's lower on the card, obviously. So we'll see where that goes to string things up and get back onto the main. We got Black Cross Light, not Alex. I corrected myself and then I got it wrong correcting it. Atlas Kiyama and Jason Blades defeating the Brits, Papa Snooch and the Gaffer. We've got Monkey Bong defeating Mad Elite Titan. I'll say that again. Monkey Bong defeated Mad Elite Titan. That could have been a tournament final, BeerMe, if I remember correctly. And that means Monkey Bong won the tournament. Because that would have been tonight.
Yeah.
If that was it. Think about that.
I know.
33-23. 10 points. Come on. The Strays, Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock beat Matt and Rab. Yeah, that's... You get a team that kind of knows what they're doing a little bit, they'll beat Matt and Rab. It happens. Wookie beat Camp Applestone 41-37. Danny the Light Jordison beat Kurt Cult 39-25. Good score for Kurt Cult compared to what he's been doing. He's had some rough ones. He can't buy a win at this point. We're pulling for him, though. And now my nose is itchy, and it's bugging me. And then James Blake defeated 3J Platinum 41-34. We have achievements. We have Atlas Kiyama, part-timer, making his 10th appearance. Geisler getting his 5th. And he's got That's Hardcore, putting a hardcore down below. Ralentendo got 25th match win. Escobar won a triple threat. He also won a Watson Rules. He also won a championship. He also won the Canadian title. So all those are for him. Tino won a tournament. Sheriff Dog got a 10th tag match win. JD also got the You Can Do It and the Hardcore Champion ones. And then BJH Bowman got 500 points. You and Jimas G got Gargano's Curse broken. Defend any FPL championship. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was like one of my biggest things. I was like, I just want to get a defense before we lose in the case we do. Because, like, there's nothing worse than winning the title and just becoming a transitional champ,
35-day reign. 35-day reign. And we lost in our first defense. But yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that.
Hey, but it was so close. It was so close.
But you didn't want that. I understand. You did not want what we did. You're like, not us.
No.
And now we're the only team to have never defended it successfully out of the 4. Yeah, anyway.
Wow.
But that's good story, too. Because, I mean, at the same time,
It is.
Bastion had the world title for 5 minutes. Like,
You did.
wrestling's fun. It's pretty great sometimes. But yeah, so here's the full results. Please go in here and read them. These are available through our Discord. If you go in, you go to match results, and you can see them there. The majority of this was by Red and CT. I've been busy for the past, 2 months straight, and I've been able to do stuff like I did the world title, I did my match, did another one. I haven't been able to do as much as I've normally been able to, but that is at least coming back, so I'll be able to do more of those. So if you want to see your insanity in, the 5-minute match, I'm your guy. So that'll be coming back up with Clash. At least I know more on that. At least that's what I'm saying right now. It might get busy for me at work tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But I always find a way. It's always good. The main show opens. We got the Fatal 4-Way like we mentioned. I think it mentioned in here who it was supposed to be. Where was it? Bowman X. Casey Warden. I believe is who it was. Yeah, Casey Warden was the one who didn't come in. That's right. Now, the rest, there's Luke and Geisel, and then the follow-up, like we said. Go check that out. Lexi and Gabby. Lexi getting that big win. McKennedy and Bane. Afterwards, Lexi was attacked backstage. And that was a theme through the night, BeerMe. That was a big theme that went through the night. And we've got something here. Coming soon. We'll talk about this in a minute. The feed cuts to a video package taking place in a dark room. In front of multiple European flags hanging on the wall sits a title covered by a shadow. The words "Coming Soon" appears on the screen before the feed fades to black with the date 09/04/2022 popping up before also fading. Technically, being European, we should have flipped that to be 04/09 because they would say the 4th of September. We heathens say September 4th. I understand this. One of my coworkers is from England. Legitimately England. I'm not saying it just to be like England is Great Britain. He's actually from England. Anyway, we'll talk more about that at the end of this episode. We'll get back to that. CT and Urban had their thing. There's Ultimate X also as well. A lot of chaos going on. Backstage with CT. He got attacked, and it was the 6th superstar attack that night. Who could be doing it? BeerMe. Whoever could it be? Anyway, let's keep going. Coster and Blade had their stuff. RGX and Rate had theirs. And then the FPL American title. You want some chaos? Go check that out. It's fantastic. Dakota Alpine and Asylum. You want more chaos? Go look at that insanity. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And then there's the Aftermath. You want to talk insanity? Go read this. It's so good. It's awesome. And by the way, Symphony of Destruction. That song is in my brain from the Transformers animated movie back in '86. By the way. But JD's part of that. I left that out because I wanted to make sure you knew this now. That they just got a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Alfine is dead. Symphony of Destruction is here. This is bad. This is bad for all factions, including yours, BeerMe. Even though you did what you did. Canadian title, like I said.
Whoa.
What? Huh? What? Ours too. Infinity also. I know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The North American Clash final. The tag match, which I had so much fun writing because I told GMSG I was going to try to find 5 ways to escape the move and then try to counter it as well. Skull Crusher finale. It's the thing that does me in. Yep, I kicked out for the first time ever. I think I might have kicked out before in prior write-ups, but I made it like it mattered this time. So that was the thing. And I outright stole the finish from Profits and Usos where Red was in the crowd and couldn't come in to help break it up. That was just It is too good of a thing to work it out. And
Right.
then there's the world title. Oh yeah, hold on here. Wait, what's this? The GMSC goes in the ring as BeerMe and he are awarded the championships. They stand over Scott and raise their titles high as Scott looks on disappointment. That sounds about right. Yeah, that checks out. Like at SummerSlam last year, Scott tried to sit up and offer GMSG a hand. That's true. I had the handshake match with GMSG. I'm 0 for 2 at SummerSlam, both times with the GMSG. That's right. Had to shake his hand last time. That's true.
Storytelling.
But GMSG simply smiles and says something to Scott, not caught on camera, before he and BeerMe leave the ring without helping Scott up. Yeah.
What assholes.
Yeah, whatever could it be? What assholes you are. That's not nice. And then the world title.
Right.
Hawk once again wrote a killer entrance, so I had to do something comparable for the champion. I had like the idea of like the podiums come up, and then the third one is him himself for Bastion. I thought that was a cool way to do it. Match was killer, super fun. 2 faces is a lot of fun to do for a match like that, especially when the guy uses a curb stump and the guy uses a knee bar. You're catching that leg. Like, I'm sorry, this was gonna happen. So that happened, and then CT comes out, and he's hurt, and then Bastion was the bad man, and he hit CJ Hawk, and then you guys came out. But you were, like, covered up, so we didn't know it was you at first. But then there was a Razor's Edge and a skull-crushing finale. And, the Musty Good Guys revealed themselves. Yeah, good guys! Yeah. And, yeah.
We're good. We're not good because we're good. We're good because we beat people. You know?
You're good at it. That's right, yeah. The Musty Good at this good guys. Yeah.
There we go. I like that.
So, then, freaking GMSG and Bastion... Bastion had got the mic for a bit, but GMSG and BeerMe got the mic. When's that happened before? And had a full-on promo. And, I mean, the gist of what I got is, you don't win the big one. Thanks, GMSG. Thanks for that. You want to read this through? You want to see the insanity of what happened, about what FBU stands for as well? And a final word for Costner? Go read this. This is insane. Also, by the way, guys... I had no idea about any of this. I learned this when the write-up went up. They kept this one from me. That doesn't happen often, and I love it. I had this original respect back and forth, and CT's like, I'm watching with Money in the Bank. This whole thing, these guys knew about this for days, and were not telling me. And it was great. I love it. I don't get to be surprised as much anymore with this. And that was awesome. So, BeerMe, you want to elaborate on what the hell happened?
We went to the dark side.
Yeah.
It came a thing like, okay, I was actually sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was eating wings and drinking beer, and we just got together in the chat, and we noticed that a lot of things from character chat were spilling into general and live, so we're like, why don't we just be the bad guys? Everybody else thinks we are, and we didn't really turn our back on the people. The people kind of turned their back on us.
Oh, so, I see. Okay, there you go.
That's what you. Reap what you sow, because now, now it's on. Like,
just remember that
we're playing nice.
This isn't character. This is just like it's kayfabe. You want character? Go look in character chat, because BeerMe's in it. Like, he's actually in there engaging right now. Heel BeerMe is like turned on. Right, now, that sounded weird. Maybe he is. I don't want to know. But he's in there typing. He's actually doing character promos in our character chat in the Discord. So that's wild.
Yeah. No, we kind of just got together and was like, yeah, let's do it, and it just happened. It all happened really fast too, like within a matter of like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only that, because CT messaged me. It was like, you have to do this. This is amazing. And I was like, well, I'm gonna let you know right now. I believe it's a yes, but I'm only 1/3 of this vote, and then we got the other two, and
he's an enabler, because when I had my world title match against JD in 2019, I think it was, and it was all about the world title, all about respect, and at the end I raised his hand, and I was writing that match, and I went to CT and I went, should I turn heel? Should I just raise his hand and then clothesline him and hit him with the belt? He's like, yes, do it. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I will. Nobody knew. Nobody knew about it. The writers knew, which is the same writers now, and Bomber knew at the time. He knew that, but JD had no idea. We worked out the match together and spots that would be cool and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll raise your hand at the end. It'll be cool if you win, and that's neat. And then I clotheslined his head off, beat him with the belt, and then my favorite bit. I'm just gonna bring this back up. Is I made an apology video for using the title in a way that was disrespectful. Like, I apologized to the world title belt. Like,
you did.
It's so good.
That's great.
It's so good. But yeah, so you guys did kind of a similar thing where it's like, hey, should we go heel? Of course, CT's like, yes, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I would have said the same thing too. I jokingly, like, we joke about the idea of me telling CT, I'm going to turn heel, I'll send you a message. I almost did that the day before these results, just to be like, hey, what if I snapped and, like, just went heel on everybody because I lost the GMSG again? I didn't hit send on that, and then the next day the results came out. Good thing I didn't, because I wasn't going to do it. But he would have been like, you should do it. He would have told me to do it, because I know how he is. Yeah, GMSG's never been a heel before. Ever. Have you?
No.
I mean, you were in Solution originally, right? Like, they were kind of heels.
It
was more tweener.
Yeah, it was kind of that.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be.
Screw you guys. So, let's scroll up here. Let's go. Actually, let's close this. Let's go over to Clash at the Castle, because we got a show coming up in 5 weeks, September 3rd. It's August 4th right now, by the way. We're recording this. The next show is a month away. We are going to dole out some stuff as we go through trenches, building up to that, but we're not going to do full breakdowns because a lot can change. So, as far as it's concerned here, BeerMe, you've got 2 matches, right?
I do.
How about you announce those? Because I've got news about something to talk about on this, too.
All right.
So you do that. Well,
I have...
actually, not blow my nose, but this is good on camera. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. There we go.
I have 2 matches for Clash. One, it's going to be RGX versus Rate Wrestle in a last man standing match, which is a death match. So,
yep, that's the way to go. He's winning it, right? Like,
I say that every time, but it's
last man standing. I'm betting the farm on him. It's home. I know it's not real home field advantage. It's as much of a home field advantage as Drew has, being from Scotland going to Wales. But it's still the UK. See, I know what I'm talking about. It's over there. So
is Rate Wrestle his version of GMSG for you?
Yes, I think he is. Yeah,
I think so. Like,
that hurt a little bit, but you're right.
Like I think, RGX really does. Like when he faces Rate, it's like he's so close, and it just
God damn it!
You know what? Fuck,
Come on,
I'm a heel now, kayfabe.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
I got
We'll go into more detail on those. Don't worry. Like we'll cover that more in detail as we go, because the character chat is going to have 5 weeks to hype this stuff up. I talked over you saying Sebastian Escobar. I feel so bad for that. Say that again, please.
Oh, it's all right. You know, he's I'll say it a second time for champ. Sebastian Escobar. Yeah,
you are a heel. You are such a heel. God damn.
He will be taking on the winner of the tournament. He will be taking on Tino for the FPL Canadian Championship in a Watson Rules match.
It is Tino time on September 3rd, which, by the way, that show's at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Really?
With a house show, or with a pre-show, probably noon, which means an 11 a.m. deadline on Saturday. Guys, Friday night, put your picks in. Like, don't wait for Saturday. It'll probably be too late.
Ooh,
but Escobar is defending against Tino. I don't think Tino will lose it. Sorry, no. I don't think Escobar will lose it, is what I meant to say. I don't think Tino's going to take it. Maybe the slip-up, though. Maybe.
I was going to say, did you say what the heart wants or what your head wants? That first
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pick Escobar. But Tino won the tournament, so it would be right,
Momentum.
Is he going to ruin Escobar's moment of defending the title? We'll see.
Could be. I'm looking forward to that. That should be really good. I like that. And that's all you got, right? That's your matches?
Yep.
Okay. I don't have a match. I've got that thing we mentioned that was teased at from a tweet This said a grand era was coming, and then something else about something else. Okay. It's new belt time. There's a new championship being added to the FPL. People have been kind of right in guessing what it's going to be called. Nobody's been right about what it actually is, though. It's a little bit different. This is what we're going with. It is going to be the FPL European Grand Prix Championship. So it's people have guessed European, people have guessed the Grand Prix. Or people might say
Grand Prix.
People say Grand Prix. I've always said it's Grand Prix based on like it's the race, the Grand Prix, the French races. I've always said that. That's
yeah.
I might be saying it wrong. I still say GIF, not GIF, even though one's it's that. I'm also Canadian. Say what you want. FPL European Grand Prix Championship. You can call it the Euro title. You can call it the GP, the Grand Prix. You can call it whatever those. The European Grand Prix Championship. It has been designed. I designed the title, just like our other ones. So if you don't like it, like the others, that's me. But we all chimed in. We all did our thing. It is a new belt eligible at house shows. But it is not the old JRPL Road Warrior title stipulation of every house show. So the difference there is it can be defended at house shows, but it won't be at every show. It's not at all of them. But what this does is this frees up a little bit about having more defenses in between things. Because it could be like maybe at a Mania, but I mean if Supercard's the night before, that's its Mania. It's going to be where there's some importance focusing on something else in the interim when other stuff is focused. So if we go, say no main title matches at Survivor Series, say, but then there's TLC, but we got Bound for Glory, like it'll be a match for that, and that's the kind of titles that's going to be. But it's not defended every house show, period. Because partly we don't know what those are going to be. Sometimes they may do them, they may not. But it can be. So that's the difference there. It's a house show belt, which, like I said, we've heard you. The house show wins and losses will matter toward that, or at least can matter toward that. And we're looking at that for who's involved in it. So I know part of it's going to be a case where it's on AEW shows, it's on Impact shows, it's on ROH shows. We get that. Not everybody likes them all the same. Not everybody watches them all the same. But this is where that belt's going to really be in that bracket of things. So that's the first part of it. The next part is the belt itself will be revealed in Europe at Clash of the Castle. So the belt itself will be revealed there. But that's a main show. So we're actually going to have the first ever champion crowned at the following house show. Yes, we're going to have to fly it back the next day for All Out the next day on the 4th. And the winner of that match, which I guess I can say right now, it is a 6-pack challenge for the inaugural championship. And BeerMe, I'm sure you're wondering who's going to be in that match.
I am.
You have to wait till next week. Next week on In the Trenches. Yes, that was dirty. That was a heel move. That was a heel move. The actual competitors for that match will be announced next week. Everything I've been saying for weeks and even months towards matches here and different roads and things going on. Yeah, it's mid-tier. We're not saying European's lesser. It's not that. We're looking at regions. We're looking at stuff. We almost went with Mexican. We're looking like we got to complete the North American side here. We got Australian. I jokingly said Antarctic Championship. There's no reason not to do some of these. But European, we've got such a strong European roster, not just of character, but of actual people who are doing predictions. And that this is the natural, because there was old European titles. We're doing it. It's Grand Prix makes it a bit special, a bit different, to make it be like house shows. That's where that kind of comes in for that. Where it's a little more, not a little more frequent, but it's going to be at different times than the rest. So it's a bit of a thing, bit of a reward for being on house shows. A very important thing to note. The house show records of people that either didn't care as much and didn't pick them as much, for like, whatever, these don't matter. And also people skipping them entirely. Like, if you skipped Double or Nothing because you just don't care about AEW, you didn't want to bother with it, there's no penalizing in that purely simply because we didn't want to make this match matter purely based on the fact that they didn't matter prior. So we've been aware of that. We made sure of that. We looked at a little more wider and broader for how to make that really work with some main show momentum as well. Because if it's a lower, we got to make that work. So if you skip Double or Nothing, if you skip Forbidden Door, if you skip Slammiversary, we didn't hold that against you on this. It's like, no, it's still good. You're still eligible for this for how we determined it. And more on that with the 6 competitors next week. BeerMe, the European Championship, the Grand Prix Championship, the GP, the Euro GP is here. It's not a tournament. It's not blocks. It's the European title. What do you think? What were your thoughts? What were you expecting from all of that when I started it?
I thought it might have been something like that. I thought maybe there would have been a tournament to decide it, but we've had a lot of tournaments lately, so I'm down with the 6-pack challenge. It sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
I was going to say a tournament would have been rough because that's all out, and then that's what, Bound for Glory, and then Hard to Kill. Maybe Final Battle. Like, that's 4 shows in 4 months. A tournament wouldn't really work to start. If we had known earlier, we could have had like all those house shows leading up. The summer tournament would have been possible, but not the fall. But
people want house shows to matter.
Yep.
So here we go.
And there was that idea of like it's a middle ground. It's not Road Warrior. We're not doing a belt that is defended every single show. We had major problems with that back in the JRPL days when we ran it for that year. And it's not a matter of like it's hard, because that's never not a reason to do something. For me at least, it wasn't worth it. Because it was just so chaotic to have something come up and suddenly a storyline is derailed on a main show simply because someone won a title, we had to have a contender, and it was never given the proper respect it really kind of deserved. I feel this is a better way to get in there and actually have a little more dedication towards those matches. It's not every house show, like I said, but if house shows are literally just once a month, I could see it being pretty often. Like, that's where it's defended. It makes sense to me. Not a guarantee, but you know what I mean? I can absolutely see it happening. But that kind of thing coming up, that kind of frequency is a little more doable, a little more respectful, I feel, which is where that goes, I think. So yeah, that's the big announcement finally. I think CT, when he did his video, he alluded toward that. That's why the survey isn't out yet, because we knew this was coming. There's no reason to do a survey yet based on, it should have this. Well, we're announcing, here it is, it's coming. And going to Europe is too good not to introduce this. We had to absolutely have that happen. And I will freely say, if we ever have more European shows, this belt's got to be defended. Like, when we go to Canada, you better believe that Canadian title's being defended. Like, damn right. So,
right.
Yeah, BeerMe, anything else you want to say at the end here towards that? Because we're coming up on almost an hour. This has been a long one. We figured it would be a little longer, but anything you want to say here at the end, you son of a bitch?
Oh, thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
No, I hope that everybody enjoyed the write-ups, and see you next week.
Yeah, next week we'll announce those new names. We'll have some more match announcements, and that's really about it. I think at this point I am going to finally get out that video of the original Rumble draw that went south when we forgot a name, and you can watch us just have pure heartbreak. That'll come out during this period. I've said that before, but we had a long stretch. Keep an eye out for that as well. It'll be a lot of fun. But thanks again, BeerMe. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and following along, and like I said, chiming in with information. If you have comments on this European title, please let us know. Comment on it, give us information on it, because we had the Canadian title, and then after one match, we went to Watson Rules. And then after that didn't work right, we changed what those were. So like nothing's set in stone. That's the key part with this. This can evolve. Absolutely can evolve. It isn't like, that's it. We've talked about it a lot. We're pretty confident on that. But please give us ideas, because someone might go, it should be like this. God damn, that's perfect. Like it can happen. We will welcome that. We'll relish that. So by all means, no such thing as a bad idea. We want to hear it. But until that time,
if you want to do it in the Discord, go ahead. I mean, I know everybody gets heated once in a while about different opinions, but
yes,
this one is actually, everybody wants to know an opinion on this. So
we want to hear it, and it's
yeah.
there is. And
I'm not kidding.
BeerMe's right, though. There are times in the Discord where people will jump. I've done it a lot myself, and I do apologize whenever I do it. But jumping on someone where someone makes an opinion and someone else comes in, like myself, going, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's this, and just shuts it down. I hate that. I hate that I do that. I hate that I've done that. I try to stay away from that. I apologize when I do it. Like, I try to clear theirs. Like, no, it's just emphatic discussion. Doesn't make it all right. Still made you feel bad. That's on me. I hate that. Full disclosure on that one. So we want to avoid that stuff. We want to get in there. And also just have some good, serious discussion about this. Not like, oh, can't have fun, but read the room. We got to make this thing work. We want to see what we can do on this one. And, I look forward to seeing what we have on this and have on these contenders for this brand new title that will debut. We got to fly it over to Wales and then fly it back to Chicago the night after. Like, with everybody else, admittedly, but we're just taking it over there to show it off and then bring it back. But we're coming to England. I'm going to keep saying that and get Black really mad at me because he's from Wales and he gives me hell for it. So.
It's good, though.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. We've had some fun in the voice chat, too. So, yes, come into our Discord. Follow along from the links down below. Also, as always, like, favorite, subscribe. This is the Frontline Prediction League on YouTube. It is Frontline League over on Twitter. And please, by all means, also check out Top of the Card Pod. It is our wrestling podcast. Top of the Card Pod is the Twitter name. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google, all the fun stuff. And I'm just going to say right now, we're recording the next episode on Monday. We're going to have a special guest. Someone we haven't had before on the show. I'll leave it at that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please check that out when it comes out, probably in about a week or so. We'll probably have new trenches before it's out. Let's be fully disclosure here. But I'm hyped for it. I know everybody else is that knows about this, so it'll be a lot of fun. But until then, thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.